Czaplinski with the latest local news, including a firefighter and a former fire captain arrested in Shelton, a tax preparer charged with identity theft in Stratford, and much more. Frank Granito will have a look at the winter storm headed our way and also have your Nutmeg Sports update later in the show. Donald Lang will join us to take a look back on this day in history. But first, Shelton police arrested a volunteer fireman and a former fire captain for arson in connection to a fire started outside of the Echo Hose Fire Company on Coram Avenue. Now, on March 1st, the Shelton Detective Bureau arrested 57-year-old William Totora of Shelton in connection with that blaze that occurred on February 3rd. And on Monday morning, police arrested and charged 45-year-old Gregory Bamba of Newtown in connection to the same fire. Now, Totora and Bamba were charged with second-degree arson, reckless endangerment, and second-degree criminal mischief, as well as second-degree conspiracy. Now, according to police, Totora and Bamba's arrests stem from a fire that occurred in the rear parking lot at the Echo Hose Company No. 1 on February 3rd during a past captain's dinner. Now, Police Lieutenant Robert Kozlowski said that the investigation revealed that the fire was intentionally started in the rear of a pickup truck, which was parked behind the firehouse. Detectives investigated the incident by identifying the individuals involved, interviewing several members of the Shelton Fire Department, as well as individuals that were present at that dinner that evening. More on that story at sheltonherald.com. And Norwalk police are looking for a man they say stole a cell phone from a Shell gas station in Norwalk. Back on February 25th, Norwalk police investigated a larceny complaint at the gas station on Westport Avenue. A victim entered the establishment and placed his phone down on the front counter. Well, after he completed his transaction, he left and forgot the phone. Now, he returned to the gas station a short time later, hoping to retrieve the phone. However, it was taken prior to the victim returning. Now, the suspect police believe took it is described as a male, possibly Asian, with long black hair, brown eyes, mustache, as well as an earring in his left ear with eyeglasses. Now, that suspect is about 5'7" and was wearing a red and white hooded zip-up jacket, black pants, and red and white sneakers. Now, the suspect also left the area in an older silver Acura with tinted windows and a sunroof. Anyone with information or who can identify the suspect can contact police at 203-854-3051. And in Trumbull, 2 burglars fled a Layton Road home last Thursday after a resident who lives in the house arrived home at about 12:40 in the afternoon. Now, according to police, the resident exited the house after hearing noises coming from inside the home. While outside, that resident reported seeing a white male wearing a dark shirt and a gray hat, jeans, and sneakers jump out of a second-floor bedroom window and run to the street, where he got into a newer model blue car driven by another man who was wearing a hooded shirt. Now, police investigated and found that the man had entered the house by breaking a first-floor window at the back of the home. That incident occurred near the Bridgeport and Fairfield borders with Trumbull. Trumbull police are asking anyone who may have any information on that incident to contact their detectives at 203-261-3665. And in other news, a 46-year-old Waterbury woman who worked for a tax preparer's office has been charged by Stratford police with 7 counts of identity theft and 6th-degree larceny. Bianca Quinones is accused of stealing customers' personal information while she worked at Liberty Tax Service on East Main Street in Waterbury. Police say she used that information to open 2 utility and 5 credit card accounts for personal use. Now, she turned herself in on a warrant last month. Now, Quinones informed Stratford police that she had worked at Liberty Tax Service for 9 years, preparing customer tax returns. Well, a search of the State of Connecticut Judicial Branch website indicates that Bianca Quinones has 5 pending criminal dockets and is being charged with multiple counts of first-degree forgery and larcenies. Now, the Connecticut Department of Revenue Services and the IRS have been notified of her arrest. And the Connecticut Post reports that the son of a Bridgeport preacher is accused of stealing from the church. Police say that 21-year-old James Shannon Jr. stole the checkbook from his father's church, Faith Revival Center Church on Hallett Street, forged his father's name on the checks, and then cashed them for over $11,000. Now, he was charged with second-degree larceny and third-degree forgery and was released after posting a $50,000 bond. Now, Bridgeport police said the pastor, James Shannon Sr., told officers of that theft and said he wanted his son prosecuted for that crime. And during the storm in New Canaan on Friday, the operator of a black pickup truck suffered non-life-threatening injuries after a tree fell on his vehicle as it was traveling on Canoe Hill Road near Ferris Hill Road. Now, he was transported to Norwalk Hospital. The man was being tended at the time by New Canaan emergency workers around 3:20 in the afternoon. The occupant of the truck was said to have a gash on his leg, but was otherwise lucky, according to a police officer at the scene. Now, New Canaan Police, Fire, Ambulance, and Public Works were on the scene along with Eversource Energy Company. Electrical wires at the time were damaged by that falling tree. And as many towns just completed cleanup from Friday's nor'easter, as you can see in some photos from our HAN network news sites, another storm is on the way. Now, on Monday, some scattered power outages were still being reported in some towns, including in Ridgefield, where about 80 people still didn't have power. Now, also Monday morning in Darien, parents, staff, and students had to take alternate routes to Darien High as High School Lane was closed due to downed power lines, which also caused the school to lose power briefly yesterday morning. Now, for more on what's headed our way tomorrow, we're going to throw it over to Frank Granito now for a look at your forecast. Frank.
All right, thank you, Kate. Before we get to tomorrow, we will get to enjoy today. It's going to be mostly sunny through the early afternoon. Temperatures in the mid-40s, a little cool out there with a light breeze. We get a good look out towards Route 8 right now. Around the later parts of the afternoon, cloud cover going to start to increase. Mostly cloudy overnight, temperatures falling below freezing. And we will see rain starting late on tonight and turning into snow in the early hours tomorrow morning. The big damage going to come tomorrow. Snow going to accumulate through the day. What started out as 3 to 6 inches, now all the way up to anywhere between 10 to 15 in some inland parts of southern Connecticut. It's going to be a heavy, wet snow, and wind gusts are going to be up around 35 miles per hour. That snow going to hang around till anywhere between 11 p.m. on Wednesday night to 2 a.m. on Thursday, and then should start to clear up. But obviously that wet accumulating snow will have impact that lingers on through Thursday. We'll have plenty more on all of our websites throughout the day, so make sure you stay tuned. For now, though, we'll go back to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank, and we're going to step out for a break. Come back, Donald Lang will take a look back on this day in history. Frank has your Nutmeg Sports Update, and we have a lot more local news coming up after this. Set sail on a summertime adventure with Sail Away Sailing School. Located in Captain's Cove Seaport in Bridgeport, we're sailing June 18th through August 10th. 2 sessions offered daily, Monday through Friday for ages 9 to 15. Have fun, make friends, learn to sail. Visit teamsailaway.com.
At Pamby Motors, we're not worried about being the biggest dealership. We're focused on being the best. We're dedicated to giving you the best experience we can. The Pamby Motors team is here to help you choose the right Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram in a friendly, pressure-free environment. And right now, during Ram Truck Month, get up to $14,000 off on all in-stock 2017 Ram 1500 pickups. Come in and see us for details. Visit Pamby Motors, Route 7 in Ridgefield, PambyZone.com.
At Budget Blinds, we're in business to frame the light, the day, and the night. So we give you an exclusive combination of high style, expert service, our no surprises pricing, and our no questions asked warranty. We believe that everyone, at every budget, deserves style and service. Isn't that a beautiful place to be?
If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Baystar and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866. If you've ever...
Welcome back to this March 6th edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. Time to take a look back on this day in history with Donald Ng. Don.
Well, Kate, today saw the introduction of a medical miracle that you probably don't think about very much. But first we go back to 1820. The Missouri Compromise signed into law by President James Monroe. It allows Missouri to enter the Union as a slave state, brings Maine into the Union as a free state, and makes the rest of the northern Louisiana Purchase territory slavery-free. Now, This compromise played a key role in another historical incident that happened on this day, the 1857 Dred Scott decision. You see, Scott was born a slave and had argued that by default he had become emancipated when his owner brought him into the territory where slavery was illegal. The Supreme Court decision, considered by historians the worst in history, was to order him and his family re-enslaved because, as a non-white, he had no legal standing to bring a lawsuit against his owner. To 1836 now, the Battle of the Alamo takes place after a 13-day siege by about 3,000 Mexican troops. The Alamo is captured. Now, legend is the defenders were wiped out, although at least 3 men were known to have survived, in addition to about 50 of the defenders' wives and children. The Alamo's Chapel building in downtown San Antonio is the most popular tourist site in Texas. 1899, Bayer registers aspirin as a trademark for acetylsalicylic acid. Now, it's so common you might not realize how remarkable it is. Aspirin is effective in treating pain, fever, and inflammation. It prevents heart attacks, strokes, blood clots, and certain types of cancer. It's also cheap, available worldwide, and classified by the World Health Organization as the safest, most effective drug in medicine. Bitter pill, normally a negative. In this case, it is literally a lifesaver. Finally, now we go to 1851, at the beginning of the Cold War.
Morton Sobel, a principal in America's first atomic spy trial, leaves New York's federal court. An electronics expert, he's accused with Julius Rosenberg, electrical engineer, of conspiring to give Russia vital secrets of the atom bomb. Rosenberg's wife is also accused of complicity in the plot against the country's security.
Make that 1951. Julius and Ethel Rosenberg go on trial for espionage and sharing the secrets of atomic bomb making with the Soviets. The Russian development of the bomb essentially started the Cold War. Now, Julius and Ethel were children of Jewish immigrants, also known members of the Communist Party, but the only evidence against them was the testimony of a convicted spy who traded his testimony for lenience. The Rosenbergs would be convicted and executed minutes apart in Sing Sing's electric chair. That is your look back in history for today, March 6th, and I'm Donald Lang.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, in other local news, the Weston Volunteer Fire Department responded to a generator fire next to a home on Blue Spruce Circle on Saturday. Now, according to the department, the apparatus was delayed due to a tree and wires blocking Newtown Turnpike near Michael's Way from last Friday's storm. Now, Lieutenant John Braden arrived on the scene and found an active fire with an enclosed overhang attached to the house. Firefighters quickly extinguished that blaze and determined that it had not extended into the home. And in other news, Jeff Burt, Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning for the Milford Public Schools, will be leaving July 1st to become Superintendent of the Colchester Public Schools. Now, Burt was named Milford's Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning in 2015. At the time, he replaced Michael Cummings, who left for an administrative position with the Fairfield Public Schools. Now, School Superintendent Dr. Elizabeth Fieser is also leaving. She's retiring July 31st, and therefore there are openings in 2 of the top 3 positions in the Milford Public School system. In an email to school employees, Burt said he and Dr. Fieser are working together to ensure a smooth transition for both positions. Now, the Milford Board of Education has started the search process for Dr. Fieser's position, but has not announced yet its plan for replacing Burt. And the Stratford Board of Education will ask the Town Council for about $3 million more in its 2018-2019 school year. Board of Education members voted unanimously on Saturday to approve a $111.8 million outlay for the next school year. Now, while the proposal is less than the $114.08 million drafted by Superintendent Janet Robinson, it is a $2.9 million increase from the current year. Now, the proposal was worked on for more than a week, according to Susan Lance, the school board's vice chairwoman and chair of the board's finance committee. Now, Lance said the plan is status quo and does not allow for any new hirings or instructional supplies purchases. It also calls for consolidation of services throughout the district. Well, the Board of Education had to get its spending request to Mayor Laura Hoydick by Monday. Hoydick will present her budget to the Town Council later this month. And the Milford Marine Institute has been finding purple sea urchins along area coastline this winter, especially in Rockall coastal areas, according to Director Tim Chaucer. Now, sea urchins are not rare creatures, but they don't usually wash up on shore, according to Chaucer. But the best time to find them is after a huge coastal storm like the one we had on Friday. Chaucer said that you might be lucky to find a specimen intact with 5 white tooth-like plates on the underside called Aristotle's lantern. Now, Chaucer said, suggesting that parents with an eye for nature hunts look for them after storms, including after this weekend storm, and have their children place them in a jar with a label as part of their own personal museum specimens. Well, the Milford Marine Institute has been in Milford since 1983, offering environmental studies related to Milford's coastline and environment. The Institute, located along Gulf Pond, offers programs and classes that include bird identification, marine biology, and much more. You can get more information at milfordmarineinstitute.org. But all right, let's throw it back over to Frank Granito now for your Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank.
All right, thank you, Kate. State tournaments going on around Connecticut right now. Let's start with some basketball. Division III on the boys' side of basketball. Darien falling in a tough one, 46-43 in overtime as Daniel Hand eliminates the Blue Wave. In Division I last night, Trumbull gets a 69-56 victory over Weaver. They will advance on now and play at Wilbur Cross tomorrow, which unlikely to happen with the weather coming. A couple of boys hockey games have already been rescheduled from tomorrow. Greenwich and St. Joe's will be playing tonight, as well as Northwest Catholic and Simsbury. NFI and Notre Dame of Fairfield have moved their original game. That was on Wednesday night to Thursday now. Girls hoops last night. Norwalk falling at Mercy 55-26 as they continue to look so good throughout this tournament, but now they'll get the FCX champion Trumbull Eagles, who defeated Newtown 40-33. That game will be on Friday. The winner advancing to the championship in Class L for this season. There's some boys Division II hoops games coming up tonight. I'll get you ready for those on Nutmeg Sports this afternoon. We'll also be joined by the New Canaan girls ice hockey coach Rich Buellin and the Ridgefield Tigers boys hockey coach Sean Gallagher as they talk about their successful FCX seasons and what it lies ahead in their state tournaments. That'll do it for this Nutmeg Sports Update. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. We're going to step out for a break, come back, and recap some of the top stories we're following today, as well as get a final look at the forecast for tomorrow, coming up after this.
Dr. Stephen Molinaro and Peter Healy of Family Practice Dentistry and Laser Dental Care have served Ridgefield for over 22 years. Experienced staff offer gentle drillless techniques, preventative care, and cosmetic procedures in a relaxed environment. Grateful for the community's trust and support through the years, new patients and their families are welcome. Call today.
At Rings End, we say it's time to re-love your home, time to refresh and reinvigorate the way you live. And whether you're redoing something big or small, remember the letters RE stand for Rings End. We're the new model in home remodeling.
Well, there's still a bite out on the water. Most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com. Well, there's still...
Welcome back to this Tuesday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top stories we're following today. Shelton police arrested a volunteer fireman and a former fire captain for arson in connection to a fire started outside of the Echo Hose Fire Company on Coram Avenue. Now, on March 1st, Shelton detectives arrested 57-year-old William Totora of Shelton in connection to that blaze that occurred on February 3rd. Now, on Monday morning, police charged 45-year-old Gregory Bamba of Newtown in connection to that same fire. Now, Totora and Bamba were charged with second-degree arson, reckless endangerment, and second-degree criminal mischief, as well as second-degree conspiracy. Now, according to police, Totora and Bamba's arrest stems from a fire that occurred in the rear parking lot of the Echo Hose Company No. 1 on February 3rd during a past captain's dinner. Now, Police Lieutenant Robert Kozlowski said that the investigation revealed that the fire was intentionally started in the rear of a pickup truck, which was parked behind that firehouse. Now, detectives investigated the incident by identifying the individuals involved, as well as interviewing several members of the fire department and people who were present at that past captain's dinner. More on that story at SheltonHerald.com. And Norwalk police are looking for a man they say stole a cell phone from the Shell gas station in Norwalk. On February 25th, Norwalk police investigated a larceny complaint at the gas station on Westport Ave. The victim entered the establishment, placed his phone down on the front counter, but after he completed his transaction, he forgot and left the phone. Well, when he returned a short time later to retrieve it, the phone had already been taken. Now, the suspect, police say, is described as a male, possibly Asian, with long black hair, brown eyes, a mustache, an earring in his left ear, and eyeglasses. Now, he's about 5'7" and was wearing a red and white hooded zip-up jacket, black pants, and red and white sneakers. Now, the suspect left the area in an older silver Acura with tinted windows and a sunroof. Anyone who can identify the suspect or has more information can contact police at 203-854-3051. And in Trumbull, 2 burglars fled a Layton Road home last Thursday after a resident who lives in the house arrived home at about 12:40 p.m. Now, according to police, that resident exited the house after hearing some noises coming from inside. Well, while outside, that resident saw a white male wearing a dark shirt and gray hat, jeans, and sneakers jump out of a second-floor bedroom window and run to the street, where he got into a newer model blue car driven by another man who was wearing a hooded sweatshirt. Well, police investigated and found that that man had entered the house by breaking a first-floor window at the back of the home. That incident occurred near the Bridgeport and Fairfield borders with Trumbull. Trumbull police request anyone who may have information on that incident to contact their detectives at 203-261-3665. And a 46-year-old Waterbury woman who worked for a tax preparer's office has been charged by Stratford police with 7 counts of identity theft and 6th-degree larceny. Bianca Quinones is accused of stealing customers' personal information while working at Liberty Tax Service on East Main Street in Waterbury. Police say she used that information to open 2 utility and 5 credit card accounts for personal use. Now, she turned herself in on a warrant last month. Quinones informed Stratford police that she has worked at Liberty Tax Service for 9 years, preparing customer tax returns. Well, a search of the State of Connecticut Judicial Branch website indicates that she has 5 pending criminal dockets and is being charged with multiple counts of first-degree forgery and larcenies. Now, the Connecticut Department of Revenue Services and the IRS have been notified of her arrest. And the Connecticut Post reports that the son of a Bridgeport preacher is accused of stealing from the church. Police say that 21-year-old James Shannon Jr. stole the checkbook from his father's church, Faith Revival Center on Hallett Street, forged his father's name on the checks, and then cashed them for over $11,000. Well, he was charged with 2nd-degree larceny and 3rd-degree forgery and was released after posting a $50,000 bond. Now, police said the pastor, James Shannon Sr., told officers of that theft and said he wanted his son prosecuted for that crime. All right, let's get one final look at your forecast with Frank. Frank.
All right, again, Kate, we'll have a mostly sunny day through the early afternoon, increasing cloud cover later on, and accumulation of snow starting around midnight tonight, so enjoy that view driving on Route 8 while you still can. There is a winter storm warning in effect from 10 p.m. tonight through 4 a.m. on Thursday. Heavy snow is expected. We're going to see accumulations of about 6 to 12 inches along the coast, 10 to 15 across interior portions of southern Connecticut. Really the snow starting tonight, Kate. It'll be heaviest around the midday tomorrow through tomorrow afternoon. Should die off by hopefully 10 p.m., but could last as long as 3 a.m. on Thursday. And of course, we'll keep you up to date on everything with this upcoming storm. That'll do it for this weather update. We're back at 2 o'clock for Nutmeg Sports. We'll see you then. For now, though, we'll let Kate say goodbye.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. And we are seeing some parking bans starting to go into effect, so be sure to follow your HAN Network Community News site for the latest impacts of this coming storm. We are going to wrap things up here on your coffee break, as Frank said, Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock. And we'll see you tomorrow with the latest local news and more. Have a great day.